Hello, everyone. Mr. Strauss here. Today we're going to learn about our Essential Elements book. This is going to be the place that you're going to find most of your information for band. Let's get started. So we're going to go through the flute book, but every book is laid out nearly exactly the same way. So you'll see your instrument at the front, and we're going to start going down through. You'll find an interesting history of your instrument. Check that out. You'll learn something about it. Now, all of these basics are things that we've been going over in class. We just learned posture, breathing and airstream are coming up shortly, and then producing the essential tone is what we're going to get to with every single person. Now, you'll start seeing videos of how to put your instrument together and then all the different parts of the instrument. It's really important that you know the different parts of the instrument because this is how we intelligently speak about it. We don't talk about this thingy here or that thingy there. We talk about the embouchure hole or the head joint or the foot joint. So, make sure that you watch those videos. Take a look at this. Moving on, here are our first notes. You'll see here that the note name is always going to be written here. It's going to be in like a yellowy mustardy color on yours. And then you're going to see right here a fingering on how to finger the instrument, and it'll tell you what fingers to put down. You just got to get used to this, and every book has just a little bit of a different fingering system, but you'll be fine. You'll notice here that we'll talk about the beat. You learned about beats already, and quarter notes and quarter rests. You're very, very well versed in all of these. If you notice this right here, this looks a whole lot like things that we've already been counting in class. We'd count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Freeze. Now, the ends of these look a little bit different, and you'll see that every time they introduce something new, they put it at the top and they identify it here. Make sure you're paying attention to these, especially at the very beginning of the book, because every single thing here is important, and every single thing here is something that we use every single day in band. You'll see a lot of these things look just like what we've been saying in class. So if you were a flute player, you would know that this is a D, C, B flat, C, and D. Or if you're a euphonium player, tuba player, this would be high for tuba, but tuba player, F, E, D flat, E, F. Be careful, and please do not go through your book and write in every note name. At the very beginning, they write them in the middle of the notes here. I'm not a big fan of it, but they do it, and we have the book. When we get here, they get rid of the note names, and that's honestly the way we need to stay. Please do not write in your note names. If you write them in, then you'll never actually learn how to read the music. We've already learned half note and half rest. So these are all new things. And honestly, you're ready to play about the first 6 or 7 pages of this book because of things that you've already learned in class. We're going to fast forward through a bunch of these pages. We'll do these later on because we need to talk about a couple things in the back of the book. Every once in a while, in the very back of the book, we might ask you to go to page 42 and look at some of the rhythms here. We have a rhythm book, but if we need to just go super quick to show you something, 42 is where all of the rhythms that we see in the book are housed. Now, this is the most important page, and you need to go there when you get your book. It's this right here called the fingering chart. The fingering chart is what the fingering chart is the two pieces of paper that shows you how to finger every single note. Let me repeat that. Every single note on the instrument is here. Now, all you have to do is, let's say that you're on this page up here, and you go, oh man, I don't remember how to finger this note right here. Well, you remember what it looks like, and then you go back to the very back of your book to the fingering chart, and you line up that note with what you saw, and that is how you learn how to play your instrument. Now, there's a couple more details, but we'll get into those later. The last thing is this. Let's say that Mr. Strauss or Mr. Venegas or your band director uses some type of word that you don't know, and they say, oh, well, I need you to count the dotted half note. You're like, man, I just can't remember what the dotted half note is. Well, right here in this reference index, you can go, you find the dotted half note, and then you're going to go to page 14. Let's see if this takes us to 14. Well, you're going to go to page 14, and then it says dotted half note there. So you know now that it gets 3 beats. So let's try that again on something else. Let's say that your band director says, well, I want you to play it forte. And you say, oh man, I don't know what forte means. So you see here, forte is on page number 9. So we're going to go to page number 9. So page 9. And then you look down the page and you see right here, it says forte, play loudly, which is part of a thing called dynamics. So that is how to use your Essential Elements book. By the end of the year, it should be used pretty hard because you're going to go back and forth from page to page. Remember, you'll only get as good as how much you practice. See you later. Bye-bye.